William Mark Felt could have been a footnote in the history of the FBI, remembered as its associate director in the early 70s, except for one crucial thing. He was journalism's best-kept secret. He was Deep Throat, as portrayed in the movie All the President's Men.
It involves the entire U.S. intelligence community, FBI, CIA, justice. It's incredible. Cover-up had little to do with Watergate. It was mainly to protect the covert operations.
Code name for the mysterious informant who leaked information about Watergate to Washington Post reporters Bob Woodward and Carl Bernstein.
He gave them context, direction, and encouragement when they needed it to keep this story alive at a time when the Nixon administration was desperately trying to cover it up.
Like all complicated relationships, he said, push me. I've been a street agent in the FBI, and you don't get anywhere unless you push people like hell, so go ahead.
Felt's clues helped expose the cover-up by the Nixon administration about the botched 1972 burglary at the National Democratic Committee headquarters in the Watergate Hotel.
He was careful to give us guidance. He didn't give us direct information from FBI files.
He saw something wrong in the government, and what should he have done? He couldn't really go to his superior.
Deep Throat's identity had been the focus of speculation for more than 30 years. Even President Nixon and White House counsel John Dean speculated about Felt on the infamous Watergate tapes.
The other person that knows is aware of it is Mark Felt. We've talked about Mark Felt, and I think that, let's face it, suppose Felt was out of practice, what does it do to him?
Born August 17, 1913 in Twin Falls, Idaho. Graduating from the University of Idaho and George Washington University Law School, he joined the FBI in 1942. As a G-man, Felt hunted Nazi spies during World War II. He had a bag of counterintelligence tricks, honed during his long career with the Bureau. In retrospect, some say clandestine meetings in a garage were not out of character. They were part of his game.
Appreciate you coming out like this.
It wasn't until he was 91, 4 years after a stroke, Felt revealed his secret. A California lawyer enlisted by Felt's daughter wrote a tell-all article for Vanity Fair magazine in 2005.
We're all so proud of him, not only for his role in history, but for the character that he is.
We believe our father, William Mark Felt Sr., was an American hero. He went well above and beyond the call of duty, at risk to himself, to save this country from a horrible injustice.
Two former Nixon aides who served time in prison for the roles in the scandal say Felt betrayed them.
I talked to him often and trusted him with very sensitive material, so did the president. To think that he was out going around in back alleys at night looking for flower pots, passing information to someone, it's just so demeaning.
He was urged to do so by his family for the money. He was very reluctant to do so because he feels, and correctly in my view, a sense of dishonor.
Some speculated that Felt resented being passed over by Nixon for the top role at the FBI following J. Edgar Hoover's death in 1972. Ironically, Felt's life was a paradox. He was eventually convicted of authorizing unrelated illegal FBI break-ins himself. He was pardoned by President Ronald Reagan and never served any time in prison. While he spent his career serving several presidents.
Why he did it is certainly an interesting notion, but for me, it's just the fundamental fact that he did it is what changed everything.
He'll be remembered for helping to bring down one commander-in-chief.